To be able to understand this video that I'm doing now, you need to be at a certain level of consciousness. And I still understand everybody's working at their pace, running at their pace. So some people are slower than the other ones. If you don't understand what I'm talking about, don't take it very personal, okay? So if you find yourself getting triggered, don't say I'm trying to attack your beliefs and stuff like that. But you have to be conscious to understand what I'm saying in this video, okay? So if it doesn't fit in your own case, I always advise you guys, don't consume content that is beyond your understanding. Save the video. You can watch it later on when you're ready, okay? Now, I awakened in 2019. I think it was around the end of August. I was a very sleep empath, okay? I used to be a very sleep empath. Sometimes I hear people telling me, how do you know the things you do? How do you know the things you know? How do you do the things you do? All this motivation and everything. I have walked my own journey, okay? I've been conscious, like I've told you, since around the end of 2019. And I've done so much work, okay? The healing work I've done. I've educated myself. I've learned a lot on this journey. I've gone down the rabbit hole, and I found out who I am along that journey. That is exactly what has helped me to reach this level of growth, okay? But sometimes you might look around you and you see a lot of people who are still stuck. I could call it like they have failed to ascend, to elevate, and to grow. I'm not talking about physical growth. That as well, but usually I'm talking about spiritual growth. And they are pretty much where they was 4 or 5 years ago. They have awakened. You know, they are very awakened individuals. They know what is happening, but they cannot grow and evolve. I'm going to bring your awareness to something what they might call limitations. Limitations might have come from family limitations, okay? You come from a royal family. Maybe you come from a very wealthy family. So there is things that they have instilled inside of you and you've learned over time that have become a part of you. And some of those things are limitations. When you're talking about limitations, I might also be talking about religious limitations, okay? The Bible told us to do this. So if you do this, you are evil. If you do that, you are demonic. I saw so many comments back in the days when I was starting my journey. And people used to say things like, oh, you know, I don't understand this guy. Some people came and called me a guy. I don't know this guy. This guy, he thinks like this, he says like that. Jesus told us this and the Bible told us that. That's what they know, okay? So people barely understand that there is people that are old souls. I do not know personally any old soul who is going to church, okay? If you're an old soul and you're still going to church, let me know. I'm very interested to know your story and what it is you're doing there. I'm very, very interested to know why you're still diving deep in religion as an old soul, but I don't know any. Religion also has got its own restrictions, okay? According to our faith. Now, let me tell you a short story. One time I met a Jehovah's Witness. I wasn't supposed to mention the religion, but I would just say it the way it is. So I met this lady, and this lady told me she had been suspended from church. Are you guys following? The woman told me she had been suspended from church because she did a mistake. And I was trying to find out what was the mistake. Why did you get suspended from church? Oh, guys, I have a visitor. Let me show you. I've got a guest. I've got a guest today. So, the lady didn't tell me what she did, but she told me that because of that mistake, she was suspended from her faith. And I know another celebrity actually from was it Botswana? Yeah, I know another. I think it's from Botswana, if I'm not mistaken. So this celebrity is a very wealthy man. He has achieved a lot of. He's a model and film star and motivational speaker and everything, and he has achieved a very huge amount of success. And in one of the stories, I remember he was saying that he had to leave his family because they're from the Jehovah's Witness, and there are some things he did was taboo in their own faith. So they sent him out. He was an outcast, and he left the whole unit because he did something that was out of the ordinary. It was a taboo, and it was not acceptable in their own faith. So he was sent away from the unit. But when he went away, the moment he went away, he started growing, he started evolving, he became wealthier, more happier, even more richer. You know, the things that he couldn't even attain back in the days when he was still following that faith. So which means that for him to be able to grow and evolve out of this bubble, he had to step away from his faith so that he can be able to realize himself on a very deep level, spiritual level, and a soul level. Are you guys following the story? There could be other people as well who are in different religions, and their religion has told them, we cannot do this in our faith. We cannot do that in our faith. We cannot do this in our faith. Now, we know that there's a lot of religions around the world. Okay, I'm not against religion. I've told you, I'm not against religion, but I just don't believe in limitations. I don't believe that I should follow a faith which is going to limit me, and sometimes it's going to even limit me from self-actualization. Okay, there are some things that I have got to follow to an extent whereby even if I want to self-actualize, it's going to be very difficult because the faith doesn't accept that. Okay, you know what I mean? So when we're also talking about limitations, we can also talk about culture limitations. And sometimes a person may be coming from a certain culture. Okay, you guys know that around the world there is so many different types of cultures. There is so many different types of cultures around the world, and every culture has got their own limitations. Okay, in our culture we do this, we don't do that. In our culture we do this and we don't do that. And people have failed to evolve because they are still under some form of restrictions, okay, from their own cultures that they've grown up and they have known their entire lives. Now, this is a very big problem for the people that are going through a spiritual awakening. It's a very, very big problem because that so-called limitation, it may hinder your growth. I've seen so many times on this channel, I can talk about something. I could say, for example, I'm out here grounding. I can give you an example, you know. As an awakened individual that I've noticed, one of the things I had to do on my healing journey was to ground myself. But even until now, there's people who don't understand what is grounding, and they're still awakened. They say that they're awakened, but they don't understand what is grounding. If I come out here and I decide to place my feet on the grass, or my feet on the floor, and I walk barefooted on the grass, or let me say I may hug a tree, or I could decide to do some sun gazing. People, they say, oh, those things are satanic, because the Bible says, oh, those things are demonic, they are satanic. Now, a lot of times, usually I'm a person who doesn't judge people. You guys know that I'm an old soul. So I accept people at their own level of consciousness. I don't really judge anyone. But at the end of the day, I still see that there is people who think that they have really awakened, but they cannot ascend for some reason because they are still stuck in a certain limitation. That is very dangerous, ladies and gentlemen. It is very, very dangerous. When you awaken, one of the things you're going to have to break, like for example, you guys know that I'm a curse breaker. I've broken out of the whole entire system, narcissistic family dynamic. I was the very first person to do that. If I always believe that, oh, you know, family, because we are blood, okay? So we are born together, which is the truth, okay? We are blood and everything. We have shared the same DNA and all that. But at the end of the day, I've got my life to live. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm awakened to the truth. I awakened to the truth in that time. So why would I continue believing that I was supposed to follow the system because we were blood? How would I be able to actualize myself if I continue to get stuck with the toxic, dysfunctional family system? How would that happen? It's not possible, ladies and gentlemen. You know. So currently, you find a lot of people who are like stuck in some way. They are awakened, okay? So they just woke up one day and they figure out maybe something, you know, because I've told you awakening happens in different ways. Maybe brutal or spontaneous awakening, but awakening for everybody is different. It can happen in so many different ways. And they have really awakened, because awakening is like the realization of the truth. Coming to that truth of what has been going on, or the things that you didn't even know about the world and yourself. So I know that it's a process, ladies and gentlemen. But me, I believe that if you can bypass, if you can override these limitations, you can be able to ascend very fast. Very fast is why I'm telling you that sometimes people are stuck in this awakening for years. A person has been awakened for 10 years. They tell you that they awakened 6 years ago. Somebody says they awakened 7 years ago. They are still the same people that they was before. Nothing has changed because they are stuck. It could be in religion, it could be in a cultural limitation, it could be society, it could be in the family, and they are still stuck in that same bubble, you know. So the secret is, once you empaths, you guys go through this kind of awakening, of course you can educate yourself, learn more about things, okay? Go down the rabbit hole. There's going to be some disturbing facts and truths that you're going to uncover. It's going to be disturbing at the first sight, but the moment you keep on understanding these things for what they are, see it for what they are so that you can evolve out of them, okay? Because you see, a lot of the things that have been going on in society during our lives, they have trapped us in some kind of a mental slave. I could call it mental slavery, okay? You have been bonded in churches. You have been bonded in families. You're bonded in relationships. You're bonded in cultures. Everything, religion and everything. Breaking bonds means that you're overriding that trap so that you're able to get out and think outside of those limitations. Now you can think for yourself, because the only way you can be able to get to where it is you want to be and where it is you want to go is when you are able to override those limitations that have been put in your head your entire life. That is what they call spiritual growth, ladies and gentlemen. So if a person who is out there and is struggling to ascend, you know, maybe you have been on this journey for some time and sometimes you are doing well up to like 3 months, and maybe you uncovered a certain truth. And then you like stepped away a little bit and was like, oh, okay, now I know what is going on here. Now you're comparing that truth to your journey, and you're seeing that they're incompatible, because the truth, that limitation that you've uncovered, you're comparing it to your own spiritual journey, and you're seeing that those things are not matching. And now you're starting to doubt yourself. You're gaslighting yourself. Maybe you're doing the wrong thing. Maybe something is wrong. I used to gaslight myself back in the days. There's a time where I started gaslighting myself. I felt like I was doing the wrong thing. I was talking about very deep stuff that nobody could even open their mouth to say. I was speaking things the way they are. And there was a time when sometimes I felt like, should I continue on this? Because I feel like I'm going too deep in this whole stuff. And I was like, okay, so I accepted my journey, and I knew this is where I'm supposed to be, and that is where I'm supposed to go. So I stuck with the truth. So chosen ones and empaths, I'm sending out this message for you. For the most of you guys who are on this spiritual journey, you have awakened and you're on this spiritual path and everything, do not ever stop what it is you're doing. Do not ever stand and start to think that you're doing wrong things or you're doing something wrong, gaslighting yourself, thinking that, oh, if I say this, what is my brother going to think? What if I say that? What is our church going to say? If I say this, it's against the Bible. If I say that, our culture doesn't accept that. All those kind of things, ladies and gentlemen, we are spiritual beings having a human experience. We came here to be free. We did not come here to get limited in certain environments, cultures, and religions. Okay? So you have got to break out, allow your mind to break out of this mental slavery, because when you learn the art of breaking out of mental slavery, you're always going to be able to think for yourself. Many people have asked me so many questions I've seen on my channel. Do you believe in Jesus? I believe in the Most High. Okay? I believe in the higher powers, God, source, universe. When it comes to religion and all this kind of Jesus, It used to ring a bell back in the days when I was unawakened, way back in time, when I was a kid, because I've told you guys that I've grown up in a very Christian environment. I've studied in Christian schools. So we read the Bible sometimes. We went to church and all that kind of stuff. Even if it didn't resonate pretty much with me back in the days, post-awakening, I realized for me, religion was limitation. So when you ask me those kind of questions, I will tell you, I believe in the Most High. I believe in the higher powers because I know I'm being guided and I'm being guarded and I'm being protected on this journey, okay? Learn the art of letting limitations go. If you do not do that, or if you cannot do that, usually you're going to experience that you're being stuck. You're being stuck on your journey and you're failing to know or to choose where it is you want to go. Sometimes even limitations can be job. A person can just grow up knowing that, oh, they have to work to survive, you know? And that's what pretty much almost I could say 90%, even if not even 95% of everybody in this world, that's what everybody believes. They have got to work to survive. You have got to go to a job. What makes you believe that you have got to go to a job every single day till the end of your life? How about you? How about your own personal life? How about your freedom? How about your peace? How about your desires? How about your own spiritual path? How about you start creating your own spiritual path? There is nobody I know is on a spiritual path and they cannot take care of themselves. This one I can promise you, ladies and gentlemen. Nobody I know is on a spiritual journey and path. They cannot look after themselves. In the early days, yes, you can juggle between your journey, your path, and the jobs. Yes, you can balance here and there. But sometimes there is going to come a time where you are going to be pushed into a corner by the universe to focus fully on your path. Ladies and gentlemen, let me tell you something. Limitations is what pretty much keeps people stuck in low frequency energies and they can never ascend, okay? Ascension becomes a problem because they are thinking about the things they have learned or the things they have been told over the years, and sometimes they feel like they cannot get out of this bubble because they are stuck in limitations. Let the limitations go, empaths, chosen ones, okay? Light workers, let the limitations go and your ascension journey will begin. So let me know what you think about this video in the comment section below. You guys do know that I do love and appreciate your support. You can book a session if you want to. You may donate or support my channel if you want to. Everything you need, you will find it in the description below. And until then, I will catch you guys in my next one. There's Amos signing out. Much love and blessings. Peace.